Hey everybody, welcome back to the Old Swedes Farm. It's Rich. Garden tour number 6, but we're gonna start inside. It is like 90 degrees outside. We're in a heat wave here, so I want to start inside. It's our CSA day, so instead of pointing things out outside, I'm gonna just point them out inside, and I've picked them all. So our folks, different families are coming over to pick up their veggies. I wanted to show you what we've been getting out of the garden since the garden's starting to kick in, really starting to kick in. So let me spin you around. This is all going to families tonight. You saw our potatoes, so we've kind of sorted them out. They're getting a bunch of nice size potatoes. Our yellow squash and zucchini just started. We picked the first one the other day, but they're getting a bunch of those this week, and those things are on autopilot. They're going to be exploding. Some garlic, everybody's getting a little garlic. Got some peppers, no fly. Getting some, these are Hungarian yellow peppers, so a little bit of heat, really good on salads. A couple different kinds of eggplant, which is gorgeous. The eggplant's just started last week and it looks great. Whole bunch of carrots. Carrots are ready. Radishes, which are kind of finishing up. Got some cabbage this week, some real nice heads of cabbage, and our beans. The peas stopped, but the beans exploded. So here's the stuff for everybody for the CSA for this week. So let me get all this packed up for our families, and then let me meet you outside. And I'll give you a little garden tour, show you how the whole place looks, because it's getting big and wild. All right, we'll be right back. All right, I'm outside. I wanted to get the indoor stuff done and show you that, show you the harvest. All our CSA families have come. Now I want to come out and show you the outside. It's been, I want to do these every 2 weeks. It's been like 3 weeks now. So there's some big changes in the garden, but a lot of produce coming, and a lot of happy campers in our CSA. Out here with the squash and pumpkins, we are staying ahead of the weeds. I weed whipped down really short, then I burned them. Got my little gas tank out here all the time. Got the propane going and burning weeds, trying to stay ahead of the growth. But a lot of growth on all the, that's, what is that, acorn squash. We got some pumpkins, the Jack B. Littles, we got Waltham squash. These big leaved ones here are the pumpkins, and there's a few, let me see if I can, a few little female plants showing, but it has been so hot. We've been in the 90s here for a while, and we're gonna be up near 100 later this week, so it's challenging trying to keep moisture on these plants, and I can tell they're getting stressed. So I don't know, we're doing the best we can, like everybody. Here's all the zucchinis down at that end, and the yellow squash down here, and we cut a whole bunch. You can see there's just, they're lining up, they're getting ready to give us even more and more. There's a lot going on, a lot of little zucchinis on, so that's been really productive. There's other stuff we were gonna plant. We didn't do it. I'll tell you, it has been a full-time plus job working the garden this year, and with the chickens and all that. And I can tell you my desire has kind of dropped a little bit, just to plant even more and more, and to tend to even more and more. I had all sorts of pepper plants, and sorry, I gotta put the lock on here to keep the chickens out. Had more peppers and tomatoes and stuff, and didn't get to it. So so here are first the onions, and there are some big onions. They're looking really good in there. I did throw some shavings down from the girls, from the little girls, and that's helped retain some moisture. But the red onions, they're looking really good. Some big onions, and they're still growing. So we had our garlic in here along with the radishes, and also some lettuce for our CSA. Well, we're done with the lettuce. The garlic's pulled up. We're giving away the radishes every week. And so in here we just planted beer radishes. Friend of ours, Mike, Lisa, friend of ours told us about that. And so we got the beer radishes in 2 rows, and they should be ready, I think, in 55 days. So maybe we'll have a couple beers and have some radishes. Let's get back to it. Green peppers, they're just starting. I've cut up 2 rows here. You can see I trimmed them up versus the shrub. You get a lot more production when you get them up and get that foliage off. These first 2 rows are really going to kick here in a couple of weeks. The red and yellow peppers are getting good. The Hungarian yellow that you saw, hopefully I'm pointing at that, I'm sorry, the sun is really bright. Lots of peppers on there, and another row of those in the back. Let me walk to the back here first. Here's our 2 tubs that we had potatoes in. We've added a bunch of straw and manure and planted the little potatoes in here. And this is an entire tub of carrots. So we've got that, and our current tub of carrots is, we're dwindling that down every week, giving that to our CSA customers. Beside the peppers are the eggplant, and this one here. Get that old leaf off of there. But hopefully you're seeing that. There's some big eggplant, and all these plants are producing right now. So things are looking really good. A lot of these other peppers are habaneros here. Lots of blooms on there. There's some more of the Hungarians, plenty of that. Here's our broccoli. Broccoli's just about done. I haven't cut it all up yet. I should. I haven't cut it up just because of the broccoli heads that are right there. You can see there's some new heads mixed in along with everything that's bolted. So I'm trying to cut this and use the good stuff, and then I'll get rid of all the bolted. I'll get rid of everything soon. Here's our cabbage. Lots of good heads. The cabbage butterflies have been active, but you can tell that's a good size head of cabbage. There's a lot going on here. We're just pulling them out each week for our CSA members and using those up. So we're kind of a garden in transition here a little bit too. The first garden here, or the trellis, was peas, and we just ripped that out. They were done, so we took the peas out, and we're going to replant another set of peas for the fall. And I've got the garden fabric, the roll down at the very end down there, and we'll roll 3 feet down here. But our beans, got plenty of beans that are still producing quite a bit, and they're gonna be giving us for several more weeks here. Tomato Alley. This has, well, let me spin you around. This has been a challenge. It has been so hot, so dry. It's hard to keep them moist enough to grow. They are growing, but see all the blooms. These are the black cherry. We've only got a few fruit on there. It is just, the plants are really challenged this summer. Really challenged. Just keeping them moist. Last year at this time we were already eating tomatoes like mad, but this year it just is so tough. But, you know, good signs of life. Here's some more of the black cherry. I mean, they're just loaded on there. We water every night. I'm, you know, continue to trellis them up. It's just been a challenge, you know. I'm sure everybody's having the same thing up here in our neck of the woods. It's just been tough. So, and there's some that just do not want to really take off. The last 5 plants here are the big beefsteak. They're just curled leaves from wanting more moisture, and it's, you know, I'll water in the morning a little bit, I'll water in the evening instead of giving them a big gulp, trying to give them a bunch of little gulps. One thing I did do was planted some more peas along here. They're getting going. They got topped off, and I was thinking that it was, you know, maybe that deer came back and topped them off. No, Holly saw a little rabbit that can get through the fence, came in here, so I'm sure that little rabbit was what topped off all the peas. But they're making a slow comeback, so that's good. We should have peas in 2 weeks. Not a ton, but we'll have some peas. Along the third trellis down here, the first two, or the first cattle panel or so, first 20 feet, we've got cucumbers finally planted, and they're starting to come up. So we should have cukes in another, I don't know, mid-August. Georgia rattlesnake, watermelon, a hill of Minnesota midget, I think it is, our compost pile. Here's all the squash that came out from the compost pile in the basement. Not doing too well just because it's been so dry and I don't water the compost pile. And then the final Minnesota midget watermelon. So plenty of watermelon. That'll probably be right around September 1st. So hot and dusty here in Minnesota, and going to be hotter and dustier. But I don't know, we're trying to, someone said, you know, Rich, quit showing excuses and suck it up and get it done. So we're trying. It is a challenge. So, and everybody down south, I'm sure you folks in Texas, I've been watching your gardens. It's a challenge. It's hard when we've gone to a scale that is beyond just us providing for us. And so the upkeep is quite high, and it takes quite a bit of time. So kind of looking at what do I want to do next year? You know, what kind of maintenance and what do I want to accomplish next year? There's just so much work. Do I want a full-time job that is nothing but tending the garden? So we're getting introspective. We're trying to think through stuff. Anyways, that's the garden. A little July, I think it's the 25th I'm filming this. There's a lot going on in the garden, and we're into harvest time, which is always fun. It's just, well, it's evening, so time for watering time. So got to get a little dinner and then get out watering. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. I'll jump over to your channels. Those of you with channels, I am watching a bunch of your videos. I might not comment on each one, and I apologize for that. Usually I comment on 100%. I'm trying to get around to them. It's just, it's hard to get it all done. So thank you for watching our channel. Thanks for checking in on the garden. And if you got some ideas on anything that I need here, let me know. I'd love it. Thanks everybody. Take care.